I want to begin with you, Mr. Eli. What implication do you see this NJC probe really having on the state's ongoing political tensions, particularly the one between the FCT minister and the River State governor?
Okay, before I go into that, let me just please permit me to correct some impressions here. My colleague on this panel had used very disparaging words on the governor of River State, and I take strong exception to that. Two, you keep introducing him as publicity secretary of the APC, and it talks about rule of law. That man was appointed the Canada Committee by the National Working Committee. That appointment has been nullified by the Court of River State and reverted back to the originally elected ESCO of the party. So he's speaking on that platform as what? I mean, calling impunity here. So now let me make this point. This country is a country of laws. And as a lawyer, I'm taught from day one that there's what they call judicial precedent. So when the Superior Court has spoken, a court below is bound by it. You don't vary it. On the issue of numbers of assembly members that can sit, as per that section 102, the Supreme Court has spoken in Dape along against Zarie in the case of Plateau State Assembly. And we're here talking about what the Federal Court judge is saying. And we're talking about central panels to probe what? So that we have a predetermined end. We're talking about a matter was had on Friday. By Monday, as a judgment already. And that does not concern us. We're talking about a matter was filed since January last year, January 24th this year. Till now, it's not been had. And people who are out of office by virtue of defection are being asked to go and sit down again. What are we protecting? See, we lost the First Republic because of the Wild Wild West. River State is gradually working towards that point where people are breaking the law and are being encouraged. Is it because they went to the president's party? Is that what we're trying to encourage here? Let us be firm. We want to have a country we want to call Nigeria. What we have here is simply a question of people acting like they are lords and then they are foreign institutions. And we must not encourage it at all. So right. if this is now to probe judges, it feels about public judges. Now, the Federal Court is one court. When you ask why the supporters of the FCT minister love Abuja Federal Court, one of the Port Harcourt division of the Federal Court. What are they running away from? Now, when talking about territorial jurisdiction of the Federal Court, under the practice directions, it's been stated over and again by the judge of the Federal Court before the law came about. That where a court of action arises in a state, or you go there. Now, what will happen is perennially, everybody runs Abuja and they get these conflicting judgments, and then they invite judges of the university to come, and then others, we're waiting. But let's face reality. On the issue of these debates, even while these distractions are ongoing, go to River State. Go to River State and see what's going on. Is it because the governor has organized jamboree with the media? When Rotimi Amaewhule was governor of River State, apart from holding regular town hall meetings where he makes commissioners come out and give accounts, he had what they call giant strikes, where journalists come like people like Benga Duleba of AIT and show working what he has done. He does not invite TV cameras to come and for flag off and all that. Is that because the governor is not doing that? As I speak to you, the entire roads in the Kwelo government are complete, ready for commissioning. The Ebuwete road is done. The Port Harcourt Ring Road is ongoing. The Trans-Calabar Road, main one, the real one, is ongoing. I can go on and on. There's a road going all the way to Yorokoto. These processes are happening simultaneously in all the central districts.
I hear you clearly, Mr. Eli.
The government will get unlawfully from the Contingent Revenue Fund.
All right.
Or there is no complaints going on. Meanwhile, he has no locals to sit here and speak as an APC public secretary. If you base the law, the staff procure has nullified this appointment.
I think you made your point quite clear. Mr. Ikenga, are you bothered by Mr. Eli's concerns about what seems disparity in the speed at which these cases are being executed in different courts, and considering the conflicting court rulings that have now sparked concerns about the rule of law? Are you somewhat optimistic that this NJC investigation will bring some clarity and resolution to the dispute?
My name as Chibike Ikenga. You cannot be at the studio there saying that man was appointed by that man. That's very disrespectful and lacked camaraderie, friendship. I know him. He knows me very well. His name is Mr. So well, I cannot address him as that man. So firstly, I overheard him say that the Supreme Court had given some judgments. He's also aware that the Supreme Court gave a judgment to the effect that courts are barred from interfering in the internal affairs of political parties. And then, as the publicity secretary of the APC Caretaker Committee, we were properly constituted by the national leadership of the party through the National Executive Committee, which ceded its powers to the National Working Committee to appointing us. And we have been working in that state, midwifing a Congress that's been fixed for the 16th of November for Ward, 23rd of November for the LGA, and the 30th of November for the state to midwife a properly constituted executive council of our party. Be that as it may, let me also tell him, the governor of Rivers State, Fubara, did come out on Friday, the 4th of October, a day that preceded the day they conducted their illegal local government election, to say that the judgment that was delivered that day, stopping Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission from going ahead with the election, that was a fraudulent judgment. It's in the media, you have it. So, quoting that the governor did that, that's impugning on the character of the judiciary. I said so. That is what happened. And then for him to say that he takes exception that I'm impugning on the character of the governor. No, I do not do that. I'm saying facts. And then let me tell you, in a state properly controlled, people must respect laws. And if judges are beginning to give counter orders, counter directives, counter judgments, it is proper for the leadership of the judiciary to call them to order, investigate why they are doing that, whether there's any corruption, leading reason why they are doing so, and if they find out that they are free, they let them off the hook. And anybody that is found wanting in trying to create this crisis in the judiciary should be held liable.
All right.
And to say that we determine when a judge will take a decision on matters that are before him or her, it's unfortunate. He lacks that locus.
All right.
He doesn't have the locus to determine for a judge how he decides. If you feel aggrieved by the decision of the court, you appeal the case.
I hear you, Mr. Kenga.
So for him to come on studio and begin to express sentiments and emotions,
I think you made your point very clearly. Allow me to interject you. We're running out of time, and I want this conversation to focus on the issues. It's not actually between the personality of both of you. But Mr. Eli, quickly, if you can, in 1 or 2 minutes, you established earlier that all of this political tussle hasn't affected infrastructural development in Rivers State. That's something that the people will also either agree or disagree with you. But what do you foresee solutions going forward? Do you still see a political resolution of these challenges?
A political solution is not possible because people are taking sides. It didn't work the first time because it was all programmed well. The law is the authority that binds several authorities, including the president in this country. Now, in Lagos State in 2007, a president called Olusegun Obasanjo seized Lagos Council funds because the Lagos State governor then, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, led the Assembly to enact a law that created LCDAs in Lagos, other local government areas, right? And the Supreme Court said, under Justice Mohammed Ways, said, no, it cannot happen. The same thing is going to happen here. If someone has broken the law, I want to address that. You're asking people to present the budget to them to validate them. Will the king deny that there was a defection in Rivers State? Now you defected, and then you're saying you didn't defect once you have seen the consequence of Section 109, sub 1G. Look, we should be talking about perjury now at this point. People should be punished for perjury. So take this country seriously. So we're waiting for a time when the Supreme Court will sit down in His Majesty and look at these issues dispassionately. As a speaker, no courts, I repeat, no federal court that taken the issue of defection before it.
All right.
When this other matter came up and withdrawn, the matter was became a consent judgment, so that issue was never considered. So, my Lord, the Honorable Justice James Omotosho let himself on the basis of the papers filed by Amaewhule and Co., which are of course for them. So when the governor withdrawn his counter affidavit, the issue of his defection had not come before the court at all. So as a speaker, even that court ruled on the basis of what was before them. If there a court sits down and looks at the issues before them,
all right,
dispassionate,
indeed,
that will be the end of this challenge.
Indeed, Mr. Eli. We're looking forward to perhaps the Apex Court's decision on this matter. As you are aware, both parties seem to, have court judgments favoring their position on this issue. The NJC investigations court.
Are we running for the infection?
The probe, Mr. Eli, if you can allow me, the probe, we understand, focuses on judges who presided over cases involving political tensions between Governor Fubara and Minister Wike. The panel also includes a former justice of the Court of Appeal and 2 heads of court. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, as we speak, has now mandated a report submission within the week, and we're also looking frantically forward to that. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on the conversation. I've been speaking with former chairman, the Gema Local Government Area and Rivers State, Subeye Eli, and Publicity Secretary, APC Caretaker Committee, Chibuike Ikenga. Gentlemen, glad to have you join us today.
Thank you for having me.